I'm going to end up asking Coach the same thing, but also want to get your guys' perspective. Just kind of a poor shot percentage in the second half. I believe only made one field goal the last 15 attempts in the second half. What wasn't working, or maybe what was Eastern doing well on defense?
I feel like we got, not all good looks, but some decent looks, good looks. They started doubling Shear a little more in the post, and he made some great passes, some kick out threes. I know I got some. I remember just off the top of my head, Mason missing in and out, Raymond in and out of one. So, I think for the most part we were getting decent looks, but it just wasn't falling.
Yeah, I agree. We were getting good shots. We just got to be tough enough to finish through, whatever. But we were getting good looks. I feel like.
Yeah, there's been a couple instances this season, I guess, where you have a lead in the second half, kind of later in the second half, and it ends up just kind of slipping away. Why do you think that is, and how can this team grow, I guess, to better finish out games?
We had multiple chances to take the game and run away with it. We just didn't have the willpower to do so, we continue to make the same mistakes, and just the little ones that beat us. So we had multiple chances to take the game, and we just didn't for whatever reason.
I agree. When it's time to make the plays needed to win the game, we just got to make them, be smarter, and just learn how to grit and finish the game.
Bashir, you just mentioned making the same little mistakes. What's an example of one of those that you're talking about?
Just missing defense assignments, just offensive rebounds, things like that. Just a little stuff. I think our first shot defense was pretty good for most of the half, but they got a few offensive rebounds, and making sure Acuff was in tight spaces. A few times we let our ball screen coverage on me wasn't tight enough in those areas, but it wasn't really a poor defensive effort, but the little things going to beat you, and our offense is not working.
For sure. Mickey, you guys have both played in the stretch of the season when you guys got to win games to get in the tournament. I'll ask you in particular because you started last year. How do you guys need to bounce back from this loss and kind of right this ship to get to Cleveland?
We just gotta put it past us. It hurts all of us. We're all frustrated. We all thought we should have had this one, but maybe we gotta go on the road and get wins. So we just gotta be mentally tough right here and just go get them.
For sure. Bashir, I know you're thinking about the game, but I do want to ask a little bit about family. I'm supposed to talk to Yusuf after this. I know we talked about it a little bit last time you guys played Eastern, but today I think was the first time that you guys started against each other at the collegiate level. What was that like for you, or is it just kind of business as usual?
I'm not gonna, follow the game plan and, keep my head on that. Obviously it's a blessing to be out there, starting together, whatever, but, I didn't really give it too much attention during the game.
Yeah. How do you approach, I guess, playing against your brother where, I'm sure it's probably even more competitive with him because you guys know each other so well. Is that the case?
Yeah, we didn't, that wasn't my matchup or anything, so it wasn't really, meet on meet, whatever, guarding him, but, it's cool to be out there with them. Obviously, it's cool to compete, but, my mind is on winning the game versus Eastern.
For sure. And I guess just lastly, kind of bringing the two together, like the game and, your brother as well. Is it, a game like this, is it one that you really, felt like that you guys needed to win and that you wanted to win in particular?
Absolutely. As far as, trying to get into the tournament, we need this one to get us on a good footing. But, the season's not over. We still got to go up to Central and, go 1-0 for Tuesday.
For sure. I think that's all I have for players.
I just got one thing for Bashir. You said that it came down to willpower with some of the mistakes you guys had. As a player, how do you go about changing that?
It's just a concentrated effort to that extra push. Even if you're tired or whatever, it's just that extra push to do that little thing, just to to create an impact in the game. It's just, I feel like we had one possession where I feel like our willpower was good, and I feel like it started off just calling into the ball. Like, it's just a little thing like that. I mean, I was tired, but I just felt like if I caught up to the ball, then, created some havoc, and that's not something hard. Everyone can do that. So I feel like the possession, even they hit a tough shot at the end of the shot clock, but I felt that possession was good just because we had that little bit more. So, just more possessions like that, and I feel like we'll be happy with our result.
For sure.
All right, thanks, guys.
Thank you both.
They can stay. All right. Yeah.
Just more about closing out games. I guess in this instance, and really in all of them, what do you think is there anything that needs to change in particular to close out games better?
Well, they got to be coached better. I've done a really bad job today because, I can't get them to follow direction. Whether it was the multiple times in timeouts where we talked about, hey, we're getting what we want when we move the ball and we attack, whether there was zone or man. But when you take the 1-pass-3, there's a reason why you shoot 5 for 25. You can't take the running 3 in transition. Like, you're in those games and you've got a chance to stretch the lead. You can't just fire up a shot, which is uncharacteristic of how we're a good shooting team. Right? We're top 30 in the country or something, 3-point field goal. Well, there's a reason. It's not like we got 5 J.J. Redicks out there, right? We for the most part, we take good open threes. We didn't do that. And when you're struggling offensively and you take the 1 pass, fire up a 3, like late in the second half, like when we attacked, we got fouled. When we turned down a 3 and drove it to the paint, we got fouled. Or we got a better look. But like, to have the discipline to do that over and over to win the game, we didn't have it. And that's a direct reflection on me. I put this team together, our staff, myself and the staff, we put this team together. Like Tuesday at Northern Illinois, we were able to weather that storm because we played with some discipline. We played with some poise. Today we did not. We were kind of uncharacteristic of how we've been here as of late because we just couldn't just grind this game out. And so we've done a poor job. Either my communication or their ability to comprehend, one of them is lacking. So it's obviously on me.
You described it as like uncharacteristic, the way.
Well,
that you shoot.
it's I wouldn't. That's probably too strong because we've had some of these problems. I didn't. Other than. That might be too. We've had some of these issues. It was interesting. You talked to. There was a meeting one day where. We got a group of guys to come together last year. Now, they weren't the most willing group, and they didn't meet all the way, because if they'd met all the way, we'd had a chance to win the league. But they met halfway, and they had a really good year. We haven't been able to get this group to meet us halfway. They still want to do some things their way, and that's on me, because I haven't been able to break them of some of those habits and understanding what it takes to win. And so, maybe I don't know all their backgrounds as well as I should, but I'm not sure how much winning at this level has taken place. And so you've got to have a willingness to check yourself a little bit and grow and improve. And we've got to be better as coaches. If the ways that we've tried to communicate aren't getting through, then we got to continue to search and find other ways to get through to them, because it didn't get through in us, and it really reared its head today.
You talk about maybe having to change a little bit to get them to maybe listen a little bit better. Do you feel like there's, I believe, 4 regular season games left? You feel like there's time left to that?
I mean, we'll continue to look and search, just as we have all year. And you ask them, like, we have, like, we showed mistake show a mistake, show good play, show like, how do I fix this? Like, have we drilled this? Have we taught this? Have you been told this? And if they have, then why can we not get this done? Why can we not do this? Their answer is not a habit yet, keep drilling. So we just keep drilling, it takes a while. And maybe when you're from other programs and different things, you've been doing something a certain way, maybe it takes longer to break some of those habits than somebody else. But whatever the case is, we haven't got it done.
21-2 bench scoring, it's not really uncommon.
No.
Is it just how the team's constructed, or how can you get more?
You ask that question after every game, it's the same answer. I mean, it is what it is. Would I like to get more? Yeah.
Yeah.
We couldn't get it today, and we wasted a pretty good defensive effort. I thought our first shot defense was pretty good. I didn't I didn't really care for our activity. I felt like for the first time in a couple of weeks we were begging our guys to play hard. I didn't think we competed real hard today, which is disappointing when you got something like this that you're playing for. And so, maybe that's too big. I don't know. But whatever it was, I wasn't able to get through to them to play at the level that we needed to play at today.
Last one for me, just simply, did you feel like this is a game you guys couldn't afford to lose at this point of the season?
I don't look at it that way. I mean, honestly, I'm trying to get this team to play as well as they can play. If we end up in Cleveland, we end up in Cleveland. If we don't end up in Cleveland, we're not good enough. I haven't really looked at it that way.
Yeah.
I mean, this team is so far from competing for a championship. I haven't even given that much thought. I'm just been trying to focus on the next practice, the next game, to try to get these guys in a position to be able to play their best basketball. If that result gets us to Cleveland, then it gets us to Cleveland. But I haven't paid any, and I'm not. That's not coach speak.
Yeah.
Just because I know where this team is. We're so far from competing for that that hasn't been a focus of mine.
And then just one thing for me, I know on that last play, Jalen shot that three-pointer. Is that what you guys were looking for, or was there a different game?
So it's a play we have in. We just ran it. It's a full court. We just ran it from the deep side. And you got two options. You put a guy on the ball. It's one-on-one coverage in the back. They didn't put a guy, but they doubled back there. In the huddle, we talked about both scenarios. Listen, man, if they guard it this way, we want to go right directly to Bashir. And he's got 3.3 seconds to play one-on-one from about 15 feet. Okay, we won games on that. Also, if they double that or they take that pass away, then we have, action here, get it in the guard's hand. He's got 3.3 seconds to make a play in a broken court, open floor. Talked about both scenarios in the huddle. Talked about 3.3 seconds in the huddle. 3.3 seconds equals at least 3 dribbles.
Yeah.
And we take one dribble and fire up a shot, which is exactly what we asked not to do. So that's the frustrating part. But I have to search, why did that message not get delivered and understood and then executed? If I tell you to take 3 dribbles and you take 3 dribbles and the clock goes off, that's on me. But I didn't do a good enough job getting that through. Or maybe he thought that was, didn't get through. That's on me. But that was the play.
That's all I have.
Okay. Thanks, Coach.
Thanks, Coach.